everyone, welcome back to the channel today. And in today's video, I'm doing another new to me Thursday. And as you can tell by this stuff, it's going to be a recipe that's new to me. Now, I actually found this recipe at work in a magazine, and it looked really good. It's called Stuffed Bell Pepper Casserole. Now, I like a good stuffed bell pepper, and I love to make casseroles because you put everything in the pan and you're done with it. So when I seen the ingredients, I had most of them on hand. The only thing that I really had to go buy was the peppers and the cheese. So let me tell you what the ingredients are, and then we'll start putting this together. Now, the first thing you need is 20 ounces of ground turkey breast. Now, I found this at Walmart. This size right here is exactly 20 ounces before cooking, and I'm assuming that's what they're wanting. I actually found this on clearance. It was marked down because it's not as pink. You can tell it's starting to turn, but I knew that I was going to take it home and use it right then, so that's why I went ahead and purchased it. And I saved a little bit of money buying it like that. Then you need one yellow onion. Now, I didn't have a yellow onion, but I did have a purple. I figured it wouldn't matter that much. What's the difference in onions? I don't know. Maybe y'all can tell me. Maybe one's more spicy and one's more sweet. I know there's a thing called a sweet Vidalia onion, but this is just a regular purple onion. And I also sprinkled in, if you can see it, some dried onion to go along with it. This is actually half an onion. The other half I saved, so I went ahead and sprinkled in some dry onion along with it. Then you need a fourth a teaspoon of salt and a fourth of a teaspoon of pepper. So I have regular salt and regular pepper right here. Then it called for 3 bell peppers, red, yellow, and green. Now, I bought one of those packages that had 3 in it, but didn't have green. And you could probably make it with all green, all red, all yellow, whatever. I wanted to follow the recipe because with a red, green, and yellow, it's going to be a very colorful casserole. And I like a lot of color in a casserole. So that's what I did. And I chopped it up really, really little because I want my peppers to not be floating around in my mouth. I want them teeny tiny. So there is actually 3 bell peppers in there. Then it calls for a 28-ounce can of crushed pepper. Now this is where I had to get creative, y'all. And I did something that I've never before done in my life. Now, I always try to keep canned tomatoes around for chili and soups and stews and stuff, casseroles. And I actually thought I had some. So I dug around the pantry and I found these 2 jars that had a big red tomato on them, and I got them out. And I got the bowl and I opened one up and poured it in there. Well, it wasn't crushed tomatoes. It was actually tomato sauce. I have tomato paste and tomato sauce, but I did not have one canned tomato in this house. And I mean, I looked all through my pantry, my boxes, and everything. So I had to get creative and make my own 28-ounce crushed tomatoes. And the way I did that, and I've never done this before in my life, so I have no idea what kind of spices to put in it. I didn't spice it at all. It's just tomatoes. But I had some tomatoes that came out of my garden either last year or the year before that I had froze. They were whole. I froze them whole. I thawed those out. I peeled the skins off them, took the core out, mashed them up, and I'm hoping that'll be good enough to work. I've never done it before. And being as this is the first time for the recipe, if it doesn't taste right, I'm going to blame those tomatoes. And I might make it again and use a regular can of crushed tomatoes. Then you need a half a cup of brown rice. Now, the reason for this recipe, I think it makes it healthier than a regular stuffed bell pepper, is because of the turkey and because of the rice. Brown rice is more healthy for you, I think. I think that's what I heard. And this little cup is the one that I got from Temu. It's perfect. Measure 1/2 cup brown rice in there. Not pre-cooked, just regular brown rice. Then you need 1 teaspoon of oregano, which I have that in here. And a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, which I have in here. And then you need 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese. Now, I actually grated my own cheese. I mean, this is really going to be a homemade casserole. I bought a block of cheese and I grated it. Now, the blocks that I found, I didn't want to go back to the freezer part of the store. I just popped into the area where the produce is to get the peppers and the meat and stuff. But the blocks that I found were only 7 ounces. So I grated up one of those, and then I had a little bit of shredded cheddar in the ice box, and I just added that. I figured that's probably 8 ounces right there. And then that's it. Okay, now, so the first thing you do, you need to heat your oven to 350, and I've got that going. Then it says in a large skillet over medium heat, add your turkey, onion, salt, and pepper. Break up the turkey and cook until brown. So we need turkey, onion, salt, and pepper. And I'll put this stuff in the skillet, get it started, and then I'll come back and show you when I get to that point. Okay, so here is the turkey with the onions and the salt and pepper in the skillet. So I'm going to take it over there and brown it now, and then I will be back to show you what it looks like. I got the turkey over there cooking now. As you know, turkey is one of those kind of meats that doesn't really get brown, even though they said cook it until brown. So I'm basically just going to cook it until it's not pinkish, because you know it wasn't really pink. So I'm just going to cook it till it doesn't look as pink as it was when I put it in there. Another thing about turkey is it has very little grease when it's cooked up. So I won't even have to drain this, just dump it in the pan. As you can tell, I've got my cake pan out here because this is the size casserole that it makes. I'm also trying to keep the turkey broke up into little bitty, teeny tiny bite-sized pieces. It's almost ready for me to bring over here. So just hang in there. You're going to get to see it here in just a little bit. Okay, it's brown and I'm fixing to bring it over to the pan. Really, the only thing that got brown was the onions. Okay, then the next thing it says is to put it in your casserole dish. So we're going to do that. Let me get out of the way so you can see all this stuff. Okay, then after you get the turkey in the dish, the next thing it says to do is to add your peppers. See how pretty and colorful that looks? Your tomatoes. Here comes my homemade tomatoes. Your rice. Your oregano. And your garlic. So basically everything except for your cheese you add to it. Then it says to mix this all together until well combined. So we're just going to stir it all around. Now after you get it all mixed up in the pan, everything blended well, it says to cover it with aluminum foil, and then we're going to put it in the oven. Let me put the aluminum foil on it. I sometimes wish that I would break down and buy that really big, large aluminum foil. So I have to put two pieces together. But I don't use it as much as I would need it to spend the money on it. So I just improvise with this. Now I am going to bake it in the oven on a cookie sheet in case there's spillage. And it says to bake it at 350 for 80 to 90 minutes. So after that's done, I'll come back and show you the rest of it. Okay, we finally got it done. I ended up cooking it. The recipe said 80 to 90 minutes. First, I cooked it for 90 minutes. The rice wasn't done. It said to cook it till the rice is tender. 90 minutes, the rice wasn't done. So I put it back in for another 20 minutes. The rice still wasn't done. So I put it back in for another 20 minutes. And I feel like the rice is done enough now that I can finish it. I don't know if maybe it has something to do with my homemade crushed tomatoes. I don't know. But anyway, the next step is to add your cheese. So we're going to do that. So the next step is to add the cheese. So I got my glove on, my Temu glove. And we're going to sprinkle the cheese. And then you put it back in the oven. And you cook it for 5 more minutes till the cheese is melted. So here we go. This is the last step. Gloves on to show you. Here it is with the cheese on it. And now we're going to put it back in the oven. It says for 5 minutes. But with the way that's been going, it'll probably be 10 minutes before this cheese melts. So let me put it in there, melt the cheese, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. And here it is, the final product. Cheese is all melted. It's very hot. So I'm not going to sample any of it right now because it's just too hot. I'm going to let it cool down. But there it is. And I will let you know how it tasted after I get it sampled. I'm probably going to take some of it into work. I'm pretty sure. And of course, I'll probably take at least 2 to 4 servings next door to my neighbor. He will eat this. He doesn't care for sweets. Pies, cakes, cookies, pudding, stuff like that. But he does like regular food, I guess if you want to call it regular food. I've taken a number of different casseroles over there to him, and he always seems to enjoy them. He really loved my foil packs. I made up foil packs and took 6 of them over there to him. Oh, he enjoyed those tremendously. So he'll probably enjoy this too. But yeah, I will let you know what it tastes like. If it's bussin', or if it's a flop, or whatever you want to say. So thank you guys for coming to visit with us today. And y'all come back and see us any old time. Bye for this one.